Do you ever feel like your body is fighting a quiet battle while you sleep? That maybe, even in the calm of night, there's something going on under the surface, something that doesn't let you fully rest. You lie there motionless, thinking you're healing, but deep inside there's a silent fire burning. For many seniors over 65, especially in places like the US, the UK, and parts of Europe, that fire has a name: chronic inflammation. It's invisible, persistent, and often misunderstood. It's not always painful like arthritis, or dramatic like a heart attack. Instead, it creeps in slowly, day by day, causing stiffness in your joints, cloudiness in your thoughts, and that dragging fatigue that no nap seems to cure. Some people call it aging, but in reality it's inflammation, your body's own immune response stuck in the on position. And the worst part? It usually gets worse at night. After 60, our bodies become more sensitive to what we eat, how we rest, and when we nourish ourselves. And yet most seniors still think of food as something to get through the day, not something that heals you while you sleep. That's the mistake, because your night routine, what you eat in those last 2 hours before bed, can either pour water on that fire or add more fuel to it. You see, this channel, Elderly Reflections, is not just about recipes or routines. It's about reclaiming health through the quiet power of senior wisdom, through stories, science, and soul. That's why today we begin a journey into the world of anti-inflammatory foods to eat at night. And before we dive in, I want to ask, where are you watching from? Whether you're in Manchester, Montreal, or Mississippi, your presence matters here. Leave a comment and tell me. And if you're new, subscribe, because the lessons we share here are not just information. They're a lifeline for those who still want to live deeply, even after 70. Let me tell you a story that changed the way I view nighttime health. It's about Eleanor, a retired nurse from Wisconsin, 79 years old. She had always believed in healthy living, walks around the block, simple meals, early bedtime. But something had shifted. Her knees, once strong, ached each morning. Her hands felt tight by evening. Her doctor ran some tests and found something concerning: elevated inflammatory markers. Nothing to worry about yet, he said. But Eleanor was the kind of woman who didn't wait for trouble to grow. She turned to her bookshelf of nursing manuals, read articles from Harvard and Mayo Clinic, and discovered something fascinating. Curcumin, the golden chemical found in turmeric, was being studied worldwide for its power to reduce inflammation. In seniors, that's when she found her new nighttime ritual. It started with a warm mug, milk simmered gently on the stove, half a teaspoon of turmeric stirred in, a tiny pinch of black pepper to help absorption, and just a touch of honey. She called it her evening hug. The results? Within 3 weeks, she noticed her fingers were more flexible in the morning, her sleep felt deeper, her walks got longer, and most importantly, she felt like her body was cooperating again, not fighting her. Turmeric milk, or golden milk, has been used in Arabic medicine for centuries. But now modern science backs it up. A study in the American Journal of Geriatric Psychology found that seniors who took curcumin daily improved their memory scores and attention span significantly over 18 months. But here's what matters most. It's not about magic potions or health trends. It's about restoring your body's natural rhythm. When you drink something warm, anti-inflammatory, and nourishing before bed, it tells your body, you can rest now. I've got your back. And in that moment, healing begins. Now, Eleanor isn't alone in this discovery. Another quiet warrior in this story is James, a retired mechanic from Yorkshire. He never believed food could change anything. He was the kind of man who believed in hard work, black coffee, and aspirin for pain. But his daughter, a physical therapist, begged him to try one thing: a small glass of tart cherry juice after dinner. He rolled his eyes but said yes, just to humor her. Within 1 week, James started sleeping through the night. His back, always stiff from decades of garage work, felt looser. And what surprised him most, he could finally tie his shoes again in the morning without groaning. I didn't know how bad I felt, he told me, until I started feeling good again. Tart cherries are a natural anti-inflammatory powerhouse. Unlike the sweet cherries you find in pies, the tart variety contains high levels of anthocyanins, compounds proven to reduce joint pain and oxidative stress. In fact, a clinical study published in the Journal of Medicinal Food found that adults who drank tart cherry juice twice daily reported improved joint comfort and longer, more restful sleep in just 14 days. That's not theory. That's elderly health in action. But it's more than the nutrients. It's the ritual. When James pours that little glass of cherry juice each evening, he's doing something Eleanor also does. He's telling his body, I care about you. and that message spoken silently through food is powerful. That's what we call elderly reflections. It's not about doing what young people do. It's about listening to your own wisdom, trusting your experience, feeding yourself with dignity and intention. So let me ask you this. What are you eating before bed? Is it helping your body repair or making things worse without you even realizing it? Are you reaching for cookies or chips or a bowl of cereal? What if you swapped just one of those things for a cup of golden milk? Or a glass of tart cherry juice? No, it won't make you 25 again, but it might help you wake up with less pain, with more clarity, with more of yourself still intact. Tonight, I want to invite you to start your own nighttime ritual. Nothing complicated, just two small, powerful things. A warm turmeric drink and a splash of tart cherry juice. Think of it as a quiet act of self-respect. You don't need to do everything, just something. Start there, and if you found this section helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and tap the bell icon so you never miss another story. Another dose of motivation or a life lesson from the elderly that just might change your path. And tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? Your voice matters. Your presence matters. And we are building a community that learns, heals, and grows. Together, one peaceful night at a time. Let me ask you something difficult. Have you ever gone to bed feeling like you've done everything right? Eaten well, taken your vitamins, stayed active, yet still woken up the next morning stiff, foggy, maybe even a little defeated? It's frustrating. You're doing what they told you, but what they didn't tell you is this. As you grow older, inflammation doesn't just react to what you eat. It reacts to when you eat and how your body is allowed to recover overnight. That's why what you eat right before bed matters more than ever. Not just for energy, not for weight loss, but for cellular repair, brain clarity, and the quiet work your body does to protect your independence. Because after 65, the nights are no longer just for rest. They're for survival, for regeneration. And sometimes that work begins with something as small as a spoon of oil or a slice of tomato. You've already met turmeric milk and tart cherries, two powerful healers. But tonight we move forward. Two more anti-inflammatory gifts are waiting. One comes from the Mediterranean hillsides, passed down from grandmothers who lived to 95. The other, a dark leafy green you've probably overlooked for years, even though it's been quietly protecting people in rural Vermont and southern France for decades. Let's begin with the food your heart has been begging for: extra virgin olive oil. Now I know what you might be thinking. Isn't olive oil just for cooking? That's what we all assumed for years. But recent studies and elderly reflections from Europe tell a different story. Taken in small amounts before bed, this golden oil does something incredible. It reduces nighttime inflammation, especially in the blood vessels, joints, and even the brain. Researchers at the University of Navarra in Spain found that seniors who consumed a tablespoon of high-quality olive oil daily, particularly in the evening, had lower levels of C-reactive protein, a key marker of inflammation, and showed better cognitive performance over time. But that's just the science. Let me tell you about Rosa, an 82-year-old widow living in a quiet village outside Florence, Italy. Every evening before washing her face, she would pour a tablespoon of olive oil into a small ceramic dish, add a pinch of sea salt, and slowly dip a piece of whole grain bread into it. Nothing more. "This is what makes my blood soft," she used to say, smiling. Her doctor, astonished by her perfect blood pressure, once asked what medication she was on. "Bread and oil," she replied. But Rosa knew it wasn't just the food. It was the ritual, the choice, the belief that a gentle fat, rich in polyphenols, could speak directly to her arteries and her memory. And she was right. Polyphenols in olive oil help reduce oxidative stress in the brain and prevent the buildup of inflammatory plaques that can lead to cognitive decline. Now, you don't need to move to Italy to benefit from this. All it takes is 1 tablespoon just before bed. Not cooked, not fried, raw, on bread and yogurt, or even taken straight with a spoon. Let it coat your throat. Let it line your blood vessels. Let it soften the fire inside you. Now, the second food tonight may surprise you. It's dark, leafy, and often dismissed as just a salad base. But after 60, this humble green becomes a nightly medicine. Baby kale. Yes, kale. Not raw and tough like we were forced to chew through in our 40s, but tender, lightly steamed or sautéed in olive oil, and served warm before sleep. Why does it matter? Because kale is rich in 2 things your body desperately needs at night: magnesium and vitamin K. Magnesium helps relax the muscles, calm the nervous system, and regulate the heartbeat, all essential for quality sleep and inflammation control. And vitamin K, It plays a quiet but vital role in helping calcium move into the bones instead of into your arteries, reducing the risk of stiffness, stroke, and heart issues. Let me tell you about Harold, a 76-year-old former English teacher from Boston. After his wife passed, he began eating less, mainly toast and tea for dinner. Soon his joints ached, his legs cramped at night. In his memory, it felt like I was walking through fog, he said. One of his former students, now a nutritionist, visited him and gently made a change to his evening. A small bowl of warm kale, sautéed with garlic and olive oil, eaten slowly with gratitude. Within 3 weeks, the cramps stopped, his thoughts felt sharper. He even began writing poetry again, something he hadn't done since the 80s. That little bowl, he told me, it gave me my evenings back. And this is what we mean by senior health. It's not flashy, it's not sold on late-night TV. It's quiet, thoughtful, and rooted in life lessons from the elderly. A tablespoon of oil, a handful of warm greens, taken not with urgency, but with respect. So tonight I want to challenge you. Instead of a big dinner followed by snacking in front of the TV, what if your last food of the day was something intentional? A spoon of olive oil, a few bites of kale, not to fill your stomach, but to nourish your blood, your heart, your brain. Because after 70, every food becomes either a gift or a burden. Choose the gift. If you've learned something from this section, let me know in the comments. I read every one, and I truly value what you share. Where are you watching from tonight? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Elderly Reflections, and tap the bell so you won't miss what comes next. Because in the final chapter of this journey, we'll explore 2 powerful nighttime foods. One that gently balances your stress hormones as you rest, and another that's been a quiet secret of monks and centenarians for generations. You don't want to miss it, because food isn't just fuel. At this age, it's medicine. It's meaning, it's motivation. There's something sacred about the night, isn't there? The world goes quiet, the noise of the day settles, and in that stillness, your body begins its most important work, repair. But here's the truth most people don't talk about. Healing after 65 doesn't just happen. It has to be supported, gently, intentionally. And that support can come from the smallest things. A warm drink, a bite of the right food, a quiet choice made when no one else is watching. If you've journeyed with us through the earlier chapters, you already understand just how powerful that choice can be. You've met turmeric milk, tart cherries, olive oil, and baby kale. Each one a small key that opens the door to deeper sleep and lower inflammation. But there are still 2 more, 2 deeply underestimated foods that can complete your nightly healing ritual and help your heart, your mind, and your spirit rest in peace. Let's begin with a food that's as humble as it is powerful. Pumpkin seeds. Now I know you probably haven't thought of pumpkin seeds since Halloween, but stay with me, because these little seeds are rich in magnesium, zinc, and tryptophan, 3 nutrients your body Magnesium, as we mentioned earlier, calms the muscles and nervous system. Zinc supports the immune system. And tryptophan, that's the amino acid your brain uses to create serotonin and melatonin, 2 key hormones that help you feel peaceful, fall asleep, and stay asleep. But here's the most powerful part. Researchers from the University of Pennsylvania had significantly higher markers of inflammation, especially in the heart and joints. That means a handful of pumpkin seeds before bed isn't just a snack, it's a shield. A way to lower blood pressure, reduce joint pain, and help your brain slip gently into rest mode. And let me tell you about one man who swears by them. George, 81 years old, a retired railway conductor from Ohio. He told me he used to wake up every 2 hours, tossing, turning, sweating. But ever since he started eating a small handful of pumpkin seeds before brushing his teeth, he's been sleeping like he did in his 50s. They don't taste like much, he said, but they calm me down better than any pill I've tried. Now that brings us to the final food tonight. One you might already have in your kitchen, and one you might have overlooked. But it's been a quiet companion to monks in Asia, centenarians in Greece, and seniors in rural Canada for generations. I'm talking about chamomile tea. Yes, simple chamomile. You've heard of it. Maybe you've tried it. But do you know what it really does? Chamomile isn't just a sleep aid. It's a natural anti-inflammatory agent, filled with compounds like apigenin and bisonomin, which actively reduce cytokine levels in the body. Those are the messengers of inflammation. A study published in the Journal of Advanced Nursing found that seniors who drank chamomile tea nightly experienced not only better sleep, but also reduced levels of inflammatory pain in joints, particularly among those with arthritis. But it's more than science, it's spiritual. Let me tell you about Louise, 85 years old, living alone on Vancouver Island. She lost her husband 8 years ago, and for a while she said her evenings were the loneliest part of her day, until she made a change. She began boiling a small pot of water each night, adding a chamomile bog, sitting by her window, no phone, no noise, just the quiet sound of the wind and her own breath. "Hey, made me sleep," she told me, "but the ritual made me okay again." That's what this is about. Not just fighting inflammation, not just fixing numbers, but creating a moment of care, of elderly reflection that reminds your body you're safe now. It's time to heal. So now we've completed the full circle. 6 foods that seniors can use to reduce inflammation, sleep deeper, and restore themselves through the night. Let's recap. Turmeric milk for the brain and joints, tart cherries for melatonin and joint relief, extra virgin olive oil to soothe the heart, baby kale for vascular health, pumpkin seeds to balance minerals and hormones, and chamomile tea to quiet the nervous system and reduce pain. But even more powerful than these foods, it's how you take them. It's the mindset, the ritual, the decision to slow down, light a small lamp, and honor your body, not with fear. Every time you choose one of these foods, you're not just avoiding disease, you're choosing dignity. You're choosing to stay independent. And that, my friend, is the real motivation. Now let me ask you something important. What does your evening look like? Are you rushing through a frozen dinner? Eating in front of the TV? Snacking on cookies without thinking? What if tonight, just tonight, you chose something different? A cup of tea, a spoonful of oil, a few seeds in your hand, a small bowl of greens. This is not about perfection, it's about intention. Because those quiet minutes before bed, they might be the most powerful minutes of your entire day. And you deserve for them to be peaceful, healing, yours. If you found this video helpful, I'd love to hear your voice. Leave a comment below and tell me, where are you watching from? What food are you going to try tonight? Which moment or message resonated with you the most on this journey? I'd love to hear what truly spoke to your heart. And if you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to Elderly Reflections, and tap the bell so you never miss another quiet moment of senior wisdom and motivation. Because here, we don't chase youth, we honor experience. We share life lessons from the elderly that still carry weight. We heal one bite, one night, one choice at a time. No matter your age, 65, 75, or even 90, your body is still listening. So give it something beautiful to hear. Here's to deep rest, to steady healing, to small foods with big meaning.